Okay, so first off, we're going to start by talking about how to round a decimal to the nearest tenth. So I have two decimals for you. The one on the left, we say 2 and 54 hundredths. The 2 is in the ones place, the 5 is in the tenths place, and the 4 is in the hundredths place. Make sure you don't say 2.54. When you see the decimal, you want to say the word and. 2 and 54 hundredths. The other decimal we have is 2 and 37 hundredths. I want to go ahead and round both of these decimals to the nearest tenth. So the tenth place is right here. The phrase that I say is look next door, 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So this is 4 or less, which means we can let it rest. We can leave our decimal as 2 and 5 tenths. That is the decimal rounded to the nearest tenth. Now let's go back over to this decimal. Here's the tenths place where we want to round, so we want to look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So this is a 7. 7 is definitely greater than 5. That means we are going to round our decimal to the nearest tenth place, which means we have to add one more. So instead of 2 and 3 tenths, it's going to be 2 and 4 tenths. That's our decimal rounded to the nearest tenth. We had to add one more because it was a 7 next door. So let's think about it. If we have 2 and 5 tenths and 2 and 4 tenths on a number line, we want to figure out, well, which one would be greater if we were comparing. So 2 and 5 tenths is just about halfway between 2 and 3. 0.5, that and 5 tenths means half. So it would fall right about here on a number line, whereas 2 and 4 tenths would be just a little bit behind. It'd be 1/10 behind. So it makes sense that 2 and 54 hundredths is a little bit bigger than 2 and 37 hundredths. It's right behind. But rounding just kind of helps you to work with some easier numbers if you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, or even comparing.